Alright, so we have what should be a banger here, Melsik Bагдasaryan, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, versus Collin Anglin. So Baghdasaryan, he's a good kickboxer, like he's got a kickboxing background, you can just tell, with the way he throws strikes and the way he approaches fights, but he's a southpaw, everything he throws with is with intent, and it's coming at you fast too. He has a big speed advantage in this one. Anglin, he doesn't have the fastest striking, like his 1-2 is very slow. His lead left hook is quite slow. Bolo uppercut quite slow, quite telegraphed when he does, throw those power punches without setting them up. And for Baghdasaryan, he's got really nice kicks, body kick, high kick, very nice, very fast with them too, very snapping. Fast straight left. And for Anglin, I've noticed that he just keeps his hands low when he's exiting range a lot. And he keeps his hands low when he's throwing kicks as well, so I think that straight left of Baghdasaryan is going to be, catching him quite a bit. Baghdasaryan likes to throw the straight left and then clash into the clinch. He's quite active in the clinch as well. Slashing left elbow in the clinch, knees to the body in the clinch. I think he's got a big advantage in the clinch, honestly. Regarding the grappling for these two, so for Anglin, he will drive a double into the fence and then look to finish it on the fence. He'll look to take the back of the opponent and then look to flatten them out if he gets in that position, ground and pound from there, rear naked chokes, whatever. For Baghdasaryan, it looks like his BJJ, like his pure BJJ, needs a bit of work. Like he seems like a bit of a white belt, honestly. How these guys win fights, so for Melsik, he's vicious, he's got good takedown defense. How these guys lose fights, so for Anglin, it's the striking tendencies that we discussed before. But I feel like, Melsik could capitalize on them a little bit. For Melsik, the way he loses is that his pace and his movement slows after 1.5 rounds. Because he comes in with a really heavy pace, so I think if he just paces himself a little bit better, then potentially that problem goes away. Past the victory for these two. So for Anglin, I think it would be smart to put your wrestling shoes on. Don't stand and bang with this guy. It's just too dangerous for the tendencies that you've shown in the past. Look for takedowns, look to take his back, look to push a pace with your wrestling. If you're in the clinch, look for body work, punch the body when you've got him up against the fence. Just really look to, put a pace on him, wear him out. And for Melsik, look for punches when he kicks, because as I said before, he's open when he is kicking. Tendencies mentioned before in the striking section of this video. Look for body kicks, high kicks. It's going to be open in the southpaw versus orthodox stance. In the clinch, look for clinch knees, clinch elbows. I think you can really dominate in the clinch. If he does get you down, and if he does try and take the back, and he has his back on the canvas, look to spin around, because he does have very loose back control when he does take the back. But ultimately, you don't want to be in that position in the first place, so don't just try not to get your back taken, I guess. But if you do find yourself in that position, that's the way out of it. How I see this fight going? I'm expecting Melsik to dominate on the feet and absolutely brutalize Anglin. I really didn't like how Anglin reacted when his previous opponent put the pressure on him, and he basically just allowed him to tee off on him against the fence. Melsik looked really dangerous in the clinch versus Bazooka, and Anglin was getting dominated in the clinch by Mainov in their Contender Series fight, so I don't think Anglin's going to be able to seek refuge in the clinch if he is getting the wrong end of the stick in the striking exchanges. So I think he's going to be taking punishment in the clinch, he's going to be taking punishment at distance, which basically just leaves one option for Anglin, which is the wrestling approach, which it does look like he has in his back pocket, but I don't see his wrestling game being good enough to make a notable impact in this fight. Melsik's anti-grappling passes the eyeball test for me. Seems like he has pretty good anti-grappling. Obviously not too much footage. The guy's 5-1. I couldn't really get too... Well, he hasn't had much cage time, honestly. I think one fight's gone past the second round, and that was his Contender Series fight, and he did slow down that one, obviously. Melsik, he does train with Edmund Tarverdian, and a lot of people have opinions on that guy. But I'm convinced he trains the best round one fighters in the world. If every fight was one round, I think he'd be the GOAT coach. But it's not, and his fighters do tend to slow down as the fight goes on. But I do think Melsik is going to bully Anglin in the first round. if Anglin gets out of the first round, I think he's going to be taking a lot of damage. He's going to bring that into the second round. I think Baghdasaryan is going to win the second round if it does get that far. Maybe Anglin edging the third, but it's going to be competitive even if Baghdasaryan is a little bit tired. I do think he rolls over Anglin in round 1 though. I do think he finds the finish in round 1, just kind of overwhelms him with his striking game. And honestly, I think Melsik's last opponent in Bazooka is better than Collin Anglin is. So I don't think Melsik will have too much trouble dealing with Anglin, honestly. Let's have a look at the betting lines. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be fantastic. Cheers for that. So the prediction is Baghdasaryan in round 1. KO, obviously. Yeah, I think he should be a big favourite. I think he should be... I favour him around 75% of the time, honestly. I'm pretty impressed with the guy, and I'm not very impressed with Anglin, but, you know, the way Anglin can win is if he gets his wrestling going. Melsik's takedown defense looks good, but we've never really seen him off his back or, you know, his BJJ game as a whole. Like, he could just get taken down and not know what to do off his back. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, the cardio, you know, Anglin could maybe put it on him late, but I'm expecting Anglin to take a lot of damage in the first 2 rounds if he is going to get to the 3rd round. But yeah, I'm looking to bet Baghdasaryan at this price for sure. I think I'd bet him all the way down to $1.50 or minus 200. I like him right now at this price. Yeah. You know, obviously wouldn't go big because he's unproven. He's got 5 fights or 6 fights or something like that. But I'm just not impressed with Anglin either. But I do like Melsik's stand-up. I'm pretty impressed with that.